Okay, I'm trying again, and it doesn't seem that I have an echo this time. Okay, that's good. Hi, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Ann Jonas, and I am the Lotus Path, and I'm also the creator and curator of Sacred Connection. So I'm a little discombobulated because I wasn't anticipating that little blip in the situation, and hopefully anyone that was on the first one is able to come back. So here I am, just sitting in this space of honoring that I'm here because this has been part of my journey. There's so much I have to say, and I'm really going to not go on for hours. So I'm just going to be with what is coming through. I have been a seeker all my life. And I've come to understand that that's what I've been doing is seeking answers and truth. And what I've come to understand is those answers and truth really come from within. I've had many people in my life who have taught me, shown me, modeled for me a way that I want to be. And these are people that I know personally and people that I've never met and people that are out in the world. One of those people or beings is Esther Hicks, and I've been following Abraham for quite a few decades. And today, what I received in my daily email seems really relevant to what I want to share here as a part of this Sacred Connection community portal. There are as many different worlds as there are perceivers or beings or individuals. You are not here to create one world where everyone is the same, wanting and getting the same. You are here to be that which you want to be, while you allow all others to be that which they want to be. And that means a lot to me because what I see is that we're all these beautiful flowers, beings of light, all expressing in our own flavor, in our own vibration. And what's important is that we shine our light as who we are. And that brings me to this place of there are many, many, many beings that are sharing a lot of the same truth. And there's also very different truth. And for those of you that aren't maybe feeling my vibe, you probably won't be a part of this community. And what I'm holding is that the people that feel in themselves the way that I feel, we are coming into community. That is this like minded community of light beings. And being a part of Sacred Connection, holding this space for the last 6 months, has shown me that there are others that do speak my language. And I'm grateful to have you be a part of this. And I'm curious as to how this all continues to flow and unfold. I shared a post on Facebook a couple months ago, and all I meant to do was really put this little meme that said, basically, everything happens in divine timing and the universe has my back. What ended up happening is that I began to write. And the next thing I knew, it was an hour and a half later, and I had written this whole post on my journey with God and what that looks like as someone who was raised with Judaism and the Baha'i faith in an organized religion, and then found my way into spirituality through goddess religion. Actually, I wrote a paper in college that was that, you all know that composition paper that you can write about anything in the whole world if you want to. And I thought, I believe in witches. I'm going to write a paper on witchcraft. And sure enough, found many books and references that spoke to witchcraft as witches being beings that trust and work with energy and nature. And a lot of them were midwives, and that led me actually down to my path of being a birth doula. What I know is that everything happens for a reason. What I also know is that there is no lotus without the mud. And I also know that we receive so many gifts in this lifetime. And truthfully, a lot of them really come in ugly packaging. It's for us to decide that that ugly packaging is serving for us and really see it as a gift. And then we have this relationship with ourself and the divine. And I came across something else today that I want to share. I'm not familiar with this woman, but I'm very curious to learn more about her. And I'm not sure if I'm even pronouncing her name correctly, but I believe it's Chelan Harkin, Chelan. And this is from her book, Susceptible to Light. And I love that this is a poetry book and this is a poem. The worst thing we ever did was put God in the sky, out of reach, pulling the divinity from the leaf, sifting out the holy from our bones, insisting God isn't bursting dazzlement through everything we've made a hard commitment to see as ordinary, stripping the sacred from everywhere to put a cloud man elsewhere, prying closeness from your heart. The worst thing we ever did was take the dance and the song out of prayer, made it sit up straight and cross its legs, removed it of rejoicing, wiped clean its hip sway, its questions, its ecstatic yowl, its tears. The worst thing we ever did is pretend God isn't the easiest thing in this universe. I'm going to restate that. The worst thing we ever did is pretend God isn't the easiest thing in this universe, available to every soul in every breath. And that is what Sacred Connection, in essence, is about. It's about being in community. It's about remembering that we are an expression of the divine. Are you familiar with the I am? The I am is all that is. The divine God source is I am. I am that I am, as are you. And when we trust in that and we believe in that and we allow for a divinely led life, which in essence is getting out of the way. And I am no stranger to control. And I feel as if my entire life, 52 years, I'm 54, but I recognize this as a 2-year-old, that I needed to be in control of the situation, because what I sensed at that time was that nobody had my back. And I'm sure that there are so many stories of beautiful beings that have had these dynamics in our childhood. And that's what this journey is about. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. And when we ride our life through that, I'm telling you, it can be a lot easier to let go and to trust and to know that you chose this in a beautiful way for the expression of your spiritual journey. There's so many tools in this universe, on this planet, that we can access to support us in coming into the greatest expression of ourself. I Let me come back for a minute. As I've witnessed myself over the last year, last 6 months, last few weeks, and all the shifts and changes that I've been in the midst of. For those of you that aren't familiar, I made a major decision to move out of California with my daughter, who's 12, and we are on our way to Idaho in just a couple weeks. And this whole thing happened in essentially 6 weeks that I put my house on the market in Petaluma, Sonoma County, California, and closed on a house in Middleton, Idaho. And I know that it was 100% divinely led. When I told people what I was doing and the time frame that I had, a lot of people just said, "Good luck with that, Anne." And I said, "Thank you." I knew they were being sarcastic, but I appreciated it. And there were others that just kind of shook their head and rolled their eyes. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of me or thinks of you. You are the only person that should, can, will determine who you are in this world. And it's through the mirror of all the beings that surround you. And these are beings, people that you know, these are your animals, these are your children, these are total strangers. I think is one of the greatest gifts we can give each other and this community is really seeing one another. Being seen, being witnessed is a touch from God. And what I desire greatest in this life is connection. I always have. COVID was an interesting journey, as many of us, all of us know that lived through it. And the only ones that haven't are the little tiny babies that can't speak about it yet. But we all witnessed how dramatically life changed when we stopped being in connection. Now, there was a beautiful benefit to that. And I believe that beingness has been lost. We're human beings, not human doings. And in our modern world, the doing tends to be front and center. Balance. You know, we just rode through the summer solstice yesterday, and we are moving, with the greatest expression of light on the planet, the longest day, the fullness of this part of the season, part of the cycle of our seasons on this planet. And it's interesting because every day now we'll have just a tiny bit less light as we move towards the winter solstice. Everything is a cycle. The more that we sit with what is around us, the less we will judge. It's funny, I like to talk about the element of nature and how there's no judgment in nature. And when the trees begin to lose their leaves as that season of fall begins, there isn't a leaf saying to another leaf, "Hey, why did you go so fast? Who are you to think you could drop off first?" What about that last leaf hanging on the tree? The leaves on the ground aren't yelling, "Hey, what's wrong with you? Why are you so late in the game?" In nature, we are here to be witnessed. As I said, one of the greatest gifts is witnessing one another. This sacred connection community portal is about just that: being held, being witnessed, being honored, and being nudged and being asked to look deeper, to look with more curiosity, and to be so playful. Here it is, folks. I love God and I can be completely irreverent because I'm going to say fuck and God in the same sentence. Not because I'm saying fuck God, because I'm saying God is so fucking great. And everything about what this life is for us to live it. Live it in always, always, ALLWAYS, right? Because truthfully, when you hear here now, NOW, you have one WON. When we are here now, that's all the place we need to be. There's no anxiety, there's no worry, there's no fear. Yes, we live on a planet that has night and day. It has duality embedded in it. It has what we call good and evil, heaven and hell, light and dark. Yet, in the end, there is only love and there is only energy. And it is in our mind that we create those realities. Heaven is a construct, as is hell. And this portion of life where we are in this human body, this human temple, this human experience, we get batted around by what's going on in the world. The events, the experiences, they're directly connected to us and ones that aren't even anywhere near us on the planet. We are impacted by all things. Here's the key to that. It's not that you're having a challenging experience or event, or there's a tragedy or a trauma, a disease, a wounding. It's not that you're experiencing that. It's what are you going to do with it? How are you going to respond to it? How are you going to react to it? This is who we are. This is our life. Our life is a series of events, a series of reactions, and therefore a whole bunch of outcomes. And when we are willing to take responsibility, and that comes from the 4 agreements. Are you familiar? I know many in my community are, and I talk about it all the time. And truthfully, living by the 4 agreements is a way to move through our life, taking responsibility and recognizing that mirror. What are those 4 agreements? Don't take anything personally. It's not yours to take personally. Don't make any assumptions. It's not yours to decide what someone else needs or wants or should have or should be. Always do your best. And that varies, right? That varies based on how you feel and what's going on in your world. But if you are in that space of, I'm doing the best that I can right now, and always be impeccable with your word. In a lot of ways, that can be one of the most challenging because being impeccable with our word also means speaking our truth, even when it might hurt someone else. But it's their job to not take it personally. This is Don Miguel Ruiz and the Toltec Wisdom. When we walk through life with these 4 agreements as a foundation, and we remember that we are that I am, there's a lot that we can let go of. You know, something that's come up in my life many, many, many times in conversation and in my own journey is wanting something, anything, whether it be a job, a partner, a home, money, whatever the wanting is, health, the release of something. The universe is so receiving of our desires and really hears us, that what the universe hears, what God hears when we are wanting is that we are wanting. It doesn't hear anything beyond what we want, just that we are wanting. And I really want to invite you to sit with that piece. What does it feel like to want? Often it feels that it's something we don't have. If we're wanting it, we don't have it, right? There might be scarcity, there might be a feeling of lack. That is what we want to shift into. We want to shift into the I amness of who we are. We want to offer to the universe and to the divine that we have everything we need. It's all right here. And we stand in the I am. And when we do that, that is when we literally attract it. It's not about, it's hard. So here's the thing. I love these little buzzwords and these little things. So that creation and reaction are the same letters, just all mixed up. Create, react. We are creating our lives every minute, every second, through every choice. It doesn't mean that you have to beat yourself up because you chose something very challenging. It's not even really you in your name, right? It's not Ann Jonas that's choosing it. It's that being within me that is looking to experience, to express itself. And you can choose again and again and again. Because truthfully, all we have is now. And every now wipes the slate clean. And I know there are times where that now moment feels heavy and dense and scary, and you can choose again. I don't know where this all is going, but what I do know
Hello,
is
and
that
welcome to Flutter Forward. It's
oh,
a really, really exciting day,
don't
and
know
thank
what's
you for
happening
tuning
here.
in.
I'm going to
My name's John. I'm
pause.
a developer relations engineer.
Okay, that was fun. Something on my computer decided to talk, so I muted and now I'm back. Anyway, so this is classic Ann Jonas, like figuring things out, bumbling along the way, recognizing that just life happens. And I, for those of you that may have been here, my first 20 seconds of this live stream had some echo on it. So in a panicked moment, I ended that and started again. So truthfully, I don't even know where this is out there in the world right now, but I am trusting that whoever's meant to be witness to this is going to find this in their divine timing. And the Sacred Connection Community Portal, which has been birthed from the desire to find connection in my heart, my journey to come into balance brought sacred connection to life. And my experience with the teachers and the tools and the workshops and the retreats and all of the things that I have called into my life, I now see that this is in some ways a culmination of a life that has been. So here's the thing. Have there been challenges? I mean, my story, the Lotus Path is my business. I have witnessed many things in this life that are quite challenging. And I have this beautiful posse. I call it my dead family up here that all comes through as a part of my life experience. Death is a part of the journey. And I love it when people say we're never getting out of here. None of us are getting out of here alive, right? Like that just isn't what it is. So we're here to witness ourselves until that point, until that transition, until that transformation happens. And I really celebrate that we have the opportunity to have connection with multiple beings. I know that those of you that have babies, have children, recognize that the way you communicated with your newborn and your infant is not how you talk to your child or teenager. Having animals is another way of communicating that is they're not giving us words back. Communicating in nature. What I'm bringing through this is how we communicate with ourselves is as important as how we communicate with all of the beings that are around us. And when we come from a place that starts with a feeling of self-love and an honoring, then we are, in essence, being aligned with the divine. I'm going to wrap this up in a few minutes as I just honor. I'm not just, that's not a word I want in my vocabulary anymore. I honor that we are here to shine our light, to witness who we are, and to be an expression of the divine. And in that way, as we hold our heart, there is no wrong. There is nothing that we can ever do wrong in a world where love is the foundation of all. And as we walk the path of exploring how we engage with the world around us, what gets us wrapped up, what gets us anchored, what gets us stuck, and we are trusting, respecting ourselves, and really being in that communication. You know, I know that those of you, I know you know this. I have had arguments in my head. I mean, you know this about you. Most of my life, I've had the voice, the voice, the voice, the voice, the voice, and they all had a different opinion. And there was even the voice that was like trying to control all the other voices. When I made an agreement with myself and all of those voices that we would work together as a board of directors, as a team, and that everybody's voice was valuable and important, that's when I felt my system fully go online. Because what I witnessed is that there wasn't any part of me that was being held back, that every part of me had an opportunity to express. And my greatest desire for all of those beings that are living on the planet at this time is that we all witness within ourselves the oneness, that we witness the love that is ever present, that we witness that we are on a journey of exploration and curiosity, and that we are here to witness each other without judgment, from a place that honors all experiences. Wherever you are on this planet at this time, I just send you so much love. And we have a signature close in sacred connection, and that is to really give ourselves a hug. So as you're watching this, I want you to put your arms up, wrap them around, and just give yourself a hug, because we need to be loving ourselves. And when we witness loving ourselves in community, then we are being held by ourselves and by the divine. All right, that's all for now. I'm very excited for what's coming. I will be having co-hosts and other live stream events, and there's going to be clips from Sacred Connection. This Patreon portal Sacred Connection community is going to be growing, and I'm going to be adding things, and this is like a little baby for me that I'm going to be nurturing along, and I know that this is happening because of the beautiful beings that have been a part of Sacred Connection for this last 27 sessions that I have had the first 3 rounds, and the co-hosts and the participants alike. You all are a part of this, and we all are out there in the world shining our light. And I'm grateful to have this community grow being by being. I love you all so much, and I send you a hug wherever you might be. And I'm telling you that you are a beautiful, divine light. So, this is what a Love Light Chat is. And I look forward to having a lot more with you. Sending you so much love.